take my picture.
Okay, you want some boudin? You want a piece of boudin?
Sure.
Where do you want it? Now rain would be nice. Here you go.
Okay, let you get the shot first.
Huh?
They all come in. Hello. Okay.
Take a nice oyster. Show them a nice oyster. Poor boy.
Get an oyster po' boy.
We got one made here. We all know how to brace the guys. That's good. He's going to be gone by the time you get out there.
Here we go. Nice, fresh, crispy oysters. Fried in cornmeal with butter on the bread, ketchup, pickles, and hot sauce if you want it. Best buy here.
That's the buy.
Oh, wait, you got to eat it.
Yeah. You want to eat?
Damn cheap.
Hey, Hawk, you want to take a big bite of a nice oyster po'?
Make him a sandwich. You want a sandwich?
You want ketchup, pickles, and hot sauce on it?
Mike, show me that.
You want ketchup?
What channel y'all from? Well, where are y'all from?
From New Orleans.
Yeah.
We're from New Orleans. Yep.
Been here 59 years.
Taste it. Let's go time.
Right here.
I'm the fry. What part of the world?
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Domain and Moss by the bayou. Where all the fish are.
We're from Metter, and he's from where? You from right around
I'm
here?
in God's country.
God's country.
I'm a lawyer by trade.
Lawyer
Would you believe all attorneys in here?
Ketchup, hot sauce, pickles. No, you wouldn't? Yeah.
There's an attorney eating one.
Sure. $7.
The movie about the way people talk in New Orleans.
He was surrounded by a lot of protection.
Oh,
and a lot of trouble.
yeah? Yeah, darling.
You mean you all?
Tell him your jokes, Mr. Man.
Tell him a joke.
Come on, man.
Tell him the
The
joke.
biggest joke of all out here is me out here. That's the biggest joke.
What you got? You got a joke? What kind of joke?
Oh,
Yeah, tell a coffin joke.
but the guy, he went to an auction, you know. He was drunk. And he was in there, they had an auction going on. He bought it, and he was bidding on a grandfather clock. So the guy hollered, one of my bid 50, 50 hollered, guy hollered 60. He went back and forth, the guy got mad. So the guy kept it up, man. He said, I'm gonna fix this guy. I said, "Got 180. The guy said, sold to the man $180. He says, Cap, I don't know why I bought that clock. He said, I'm drunk. He said, I ain't got no way of getting it home. He said, you got a car? He says, yeah. What kind of car you got? He said, I got a Volkswagen. He said, well, it won't fit in the trunk and it won't fit on top. He said, I'll tell you what I do with you. Where you live? He said, 4 blocks down the road. He said, I'll tell you what I do. I'll tie it on your back, tie it with a string, and you can walk home with it. He said, would you do that for me? He says, yeah. So he goes about 3 blocks, man. He's tired, legs give out, and he falls flat on his face. Here comes a colored guy. He tells the guy, say, hey, man, why don't you buy a wristwatch like us? That wasn't too good, huh?
I like the San Francisco one better with the coffin.
Great.
Hey, let's stop. Where are you from?
Yeah. Yeah, like, oyster po' boy, what is that on it? And you're like, well, it's bread, and then you put the oysters on it with a little butter on it. You went ketchup, pickles, and hot sauce. Hot sauce, kind of Tabasco? No, Crystal, because we use Crystal here. So, yeah, I had a guy from England this morning, but he knew what it was. He's like, yeah, either Tabasco or Crystal. We give people their preference. If they're from New Orleans, they usually like the Crystal. If they're from other parts, you know, like California or something, they want the Tabasco.
Yeah, where's the boss?
Yeah, pretty much so. Pretty much so, because they're saying, you can see the people, they're saying they're watching other ones, you know, as they come up to see what they are, and then they see what they are, they'll get one. Quick.
Well, who? Robert's what?
Robert's dog.
Dog.
Well, I don't know. I'll find out.
people to take our message.
Okay.
And I live in California, and I come out to help him sell.
Where were you raised?
Seventh Ward.
Seventh Ward.
There's a proprietor right there. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Taking our picture.
Hey, what you say? Hey, doing? How you feeling?
All right. We're doing a film for Channel 12. We're just taking some pictures.
Channel 12?
Yeah.
Oh, I spent a lot of money on that channel. I was donating.
I don't think I got any of it. No.
Yeah. Kindergarten and school. We've been nice to have a good friend.
Just like brothers.
Yeah.
Take a picture of that good hot sausage.
Oh yeah.
Something that's been in the family for over 150 years. We have a real good recipe.
My
And all
grandfather
meat.
and his father worked together.
And all meat.
Hey, big.
All meat, no cereal added. You know, good quality sausage. We place a lot of emphasis on the seasoning rather than the pepper. You know, it's really a good gourmet blend.
Yeah.
And we just feel that the Lord is leading us to go into this business now. And we're dedicated to the Lord, and we're finally going to go places with it. We know we're not going to miss with it.
That's good.
We have started a home delivery service, you know,
Yeah.
home delivery hot sausage service.
Yeah.
And people could call them and go right into the home. They got commercial on it.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry
Yeah.
about it.
What? That's okay. What neighborhood are you from?
The 7th Ward, right across from the old autocrat club. My
St.
father
Bernard
was a butcher in the St. Bernard meat market for years. And then I inherited the business from him, you know.
Yeah. One of the things we're doing this film about is the way people talk in New Orleans. Okay, because we think that there are New Orleans dialects. Did you ever notice that?
Yeah, our dialect is similar to the dialect of people from Brooklyn. You know, when I was in New York, a lot of people ask me, "Oh, you from Brooklyn?" No, from New Orleans.
Do you ever notice that people in different parts of town also speak differently, depending on what neighborhood they were raised
Yes,
in?
it is.
What-
Definitely.
Can you tell? I mean,
You can tell those that come from the 7th Ward, the as we say, the old Creole neighborhood, you know. That's where you can tell the difference there than the people from the Uptown and the people from the Garden District, also from the 9th Ward.
how do they sound differently? You know?
It's just something with the accent or the way we chew our words up, you know. Our diction is different, you know.
So, for example, someone from the 9th Ward, how do you think they would talk? They talk differently from you?
That is the old 9th Ward. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But there is a vast difference. But to specify the difference, you know, from the 9th or breaking into that category, it might be a little hard. I might get some resentment, you know.
Yeah, no, I understand. I've noticed that there is like a 7th Ward accent. You know,
Yeah,
I've been able
yeah.
to spot, and then there's an Uptown accent,
Mm-hmm.
and it also differs between whites and blacks too.
Yeah.
I think, but I think, especially older people, you can tell the difference. Did you ever notice that?
Yeah.
You know,
I think the schooling had a lot to do with it. Long time ago, people didn't put too much emphasis on their children finishing school. You know, the education level was only raised to a certain point, and after they're old enough, they go out and get them a job. People are satisfied, but it's different now. Husband and wife are both sacrificing sending their children to school, and they want them to get an education. They'll sacrifice for that education, but they want them to better their condition.
but
I think times has a lot to do with it, you know?
Yeah. However, I think the 7th Ward, it has a tradition of a commitment to education. I mean,
Yeah.
more than-
Everything come out the 7th Ward we find was number one. We had the best bricklayers, the best carpenters. Everybody that come from the 7th Ward. A lot of fine people came from the 7th Ward. We had guys come from the 7th Ward that, for example, is making all the chassis for the Zenith television, or great inventors, or guys that do, 7th Ward put out a good product.
Yeah.
There's something about the home training, I would say, came out of the 7th Ward, you know? We all were proud people, a lot of pride. Just like we have the Creole Fiesta right now, the Creole Heritage and Fiesta. We're proud people in that. Get to the point where we have a non-profit organization. We give our balls once a year. We parade over the streets, and we're just proud people, you know.
When is that?
The dance is tomorrow night, the Creole Fiesta dance, and the parade was last Sunday.
Where was the parade?
In the 7th Ward, New Orleans. It started off on AP Tour Avenue in North Rushblair, and they had their route to Orleans Street. They came back to St.
And you're selling.
Quite a few people don't know. What's that? Po' boy, what's that? Then you have to explain them what a po' boy is. This bread here, outside of New Orleans, I don't think you can buy too many other places. Unless someone from New Orleans and migrate to another town, you know.
Yeah.
He ships it to me to California sometime just so I can have it.
Yeah. Do you ever notice anything else how long did you live in New Orleans before you moved out there?
I left here in 1955 and I was born in 1930.
Okay. So see, one of the things I was explaining we do a show about is New Orleans words and dialects. And sometimes when I leave New Orleans, I use a New Orleans word and nobody knows what I'm talking about.
I think I've kind of lost my accent as much as I used to have it. You know, when I was here, I used it. I think I could go back to it no time at all, though. Yeah.
Do you ever find that when you come back home that maybe you start talking?
The funny thing about coming back home is I think everybody that I see sound like they come from New Orleans, because in California when I run into them, it sounds like, you know, when we see people that sounds like this, oh, they're from home. And now I'm seeing everybody's from home now, you know. It's kind of strange, but that's the way it is.
We set you up for that. Okay?
You set me up for that one.
But just talk to us. They didn't tell us. Just pretend they're not there because they don't count. So what were you saying about New Orleans?
Different expressions that we use. Like you may come here and you go to a street and you look at the sign and it'll say Burgundy to you. You'll ask one of us, you know, where's Burgundy? And we'll look at you because we say Burgundy. We use the old French. It was years before I realized what a sidewalk was. I had to go away to school and somebody said to me, walk on the sidewalk, and I looked around and I said, oh, you mean the banquet? Because that's how I grew up. You walk on the side, it's a banquet to us.
You've lived here all your life.
Except for the time I was away in school. But New Orleans is quite different, quite different. You come here and you find things I don't think you'll find anywhere else right here. It's unique.
What other things, for example? Because we're new here. So
Okay. I assume you've been in the French Quarter. Have you ever seen anything like that? It's like a closed society.
Well, we don't have Creole society where we come from.
No.
What is it exactly?
We're a mixture. I'm mixed with Spanish, French, Black. My husband is mixed with Jewish, French. It's Vaucresson, you can tell by the name. I have some Indian on my mother's side, so we're really mixed. Then if you look at us, look at my husband, he's Black. I'm Black, yet I'm a different type. You look at my son, who's a different type. You line us up and we're all different colors, different shapes, different hair types. You may have hair from straight white hair to the black kinky, and they're all related. My sons, if you stand them side by side, sometimes you look at them and say, oh, they're brothers, but they are, because they're different shades, different types. This is where the Creole comes. We're like a mixture, pot, stir it up.
Did you ever learn French when you were little?
No, my grandmother spoke pure French, but as coming up in school, they wouldn't let us speak it. And then they spoke that Creole, what they call. But when we were coming up in school, they'd say, English. No, don't. My grandmother didn't speak English at all.
You remember anything she used to say? Can you say
Just a
something?
few words. Comment allez-vous? If they didn't want you to hear, they'd revert to Creole, so you wouldn't know what they were saying. But they would not let us speak it. My husband speaks a few words. He picked it up, but I never did. It's just the way it is. I wish I had now.
Parents spoke, you don't hear anymore.
Can't come to me right now. The one you should is Betty, my friend. Call Betty. Betty can give them. Get Betty. If you'd cry as a child, you'd cry, and they'd say, "Stop crying." That's Guillaume.
What is
Meant
Guillaume?
bad luck. And you'd say, they'd say, "You're bringing
Or
Guillaume
you bring in
the house."
trouble.
Trouble in
When
the
you
house.
cry, you bring trouble.
And they say, "That's nothing but Guillaume." They'll let
Just say
people-
shut up.
Yeah. Well,
that's
we do.
You all, but
We
not.
do. We say it to you, but
So you're saying you use banking, but you don't use banking anymore?
No, we use sidewalk and pavement because they didn't talk the old Creole because they didn't grow up with it like their parents and
Thank you, ma'am.
their parents didn't let them hear old Creole. They probably picked up some words, but they probably didn't know what they meant. So they just talk to us like regular English, and we use sidewalk and pavement. No, we don't. They use.
She uses banking. You use banking.
Well, I've gotten away from it.
we've
one
gotten
time.
away from it. But
Got
sometimes it comes out.
It comes out.
Sometimes it come out, and sometimes the alphabets we don't pronounce them like they're supposed to be pronounced. A T, we tend to say third, like a turkey. A lot of people says turkey, and sometimes it's hard not to say it, even though you don't use it very much anymore.
And you see, the difference is what happened was, like, my grandmother spoke the French, didn't speak English. When we went to school with the nuns, they made you speak English. And they tried to teach it to you the way you were supposed to say it. Whereas my children went to better schools and everything else, so now they're completely different. The language is totally, I still use things that he doesn't know what I mean. I'll say something and he'll look at me. And it's something that I grew up with where his generation doesn't know anything about it. We took them down in the French Quarter, the class, and there are a lot of things that I refer to down there, and they don't know anything about.
Like what?
Well, at the Cabildo, I was talking about when Jackson landed with Lafitte coming in and the pirates and the blacks and everything. And these kids, they study it in history, but when you say that's where it was and this is how it happened, they kind of look at you.
Do you think that's
In the Creole coming up. Because now there's a dance that we were trying to learn that some elderly ladies do at the, it's still, to me, it's still Congo
Yeah, we
Square.
do, but a lot of people don't.
Don't anymore.
A lot of people don't know what it is. They don't know.
Well, it's still Congo Square to us. You'd ask me about Beauregard Square, I'd probably look at
I
you and give
wouldn't
you a
know what
blank
you're speaking
expression
now.
because it's still
Use the
Congo
expression
Square.
before Backatown. What is that?
That's a section in the 7th Ward. They had, Uptown was above Canal Street. Anything below Canal Street was downtown. Then when you got past St. Bernard and Claiborne, you were going
Or going to the river,
Toward the river.
or away from the river. Away from the river was back of town, and to the river is front of town. Other than the French quarters of Bucarest.
like where I
Any
live
other
now.
area is front of town if it's near the river.
Where I live now used to be Pollard Land. And it was a section of the city around St. Raymond's Church. And the people who owned it was, I guess, from the Pollard family, and they had all this land. And so when we were small and we'd say we're going to Pollard Land. And now I live right there. It's all built up. It's a subdivision.
Would you say that everybody who grew up in your neighborhood would have called it Pollard?
Yes.
Yeah.
And is everybody still called Backatown, front of town? You still hear that?
We're back of town. Oh, yeah. We're telling them, let's go back.
Other
you're
than
going-
the younger kids, they
don't.
don't say it.
we doesn't know.
I
They
barely
don't.
know what they talk about sometimes. Say, what's that? Surprising new phrase for me today.
Can you ever tell when somebody is not from the 7th Ward, what part of town they might be?
Yes. Usually you can, well, it's getting harder now, but when we were coming up, you could tell a person that was from Uptown. They were different. They lived more American way. We lived more Creole or whatever culture we came from.
What about the way they talk?
They spoke differently, and they were better educated then. The people from Uptown were better educated.
Whites, Creoles, or blacks that you're talking about?
Creoles and blacks, basically.
You saying they were better
They were better educated, yes.
You see, what happened when we grew up, and she lived in the Treme section of town, and I lived further down in the 7th Ward in Corpus Christi. We grew up, when I said, in a closed society. All of the kids in the 7th Ward went to Catholic school, which was Corpus Christi, or if you went to a public school, you went to Valinas, a certain class. You stayed within your group. All of the nice little 7th Ward kids went. If you went to public school, you went to McDonald 35. Then if you were lucky enough to go to college when you graduated from high school, everybody went to Xavier University. I mean, it was unheard of. Go to public school. He said he'd rather me not go to school before I went to a public school. That's the way things were.
See, what this is telling me is that a lot of you and a lot of people you grew up with went through the same experiences. You might even have the same teachers. And all that might have shaped the way that you talk.
Yes.
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 Which is different from somebody uptown who maybe went to someplace else.
And I found it was a hard adjustment when I left and when I had to go to public school. It was a very hard adjustment because there were so few of us from the 7th Ward, and it was kind of hard to fit in. And you grew up, whereas our kids, no. They're thrown in with kids from all over. And that's just the way it was. We grew up and...
How do you feel about the way you talk? Do you ever feel good about it? Do you feel bad about it? Do you ever think about it?
Very good, and I'll tell you why. When Jimmy Carter became president and I heard him talk, I said, I feel good. He was very proud of the fact that he had the Georgia accent. And at one time I was ashamed of it. When I went away to school, I was terribly embarrassed by it. I could not pronounce oil, O-I-L. It came out E-A-R-L. There's a difference in pronunciation. But I think after he became president and he had the deep Southern accent, then I sort of really became proud of the fact of the way we talk. I don't want to lose it.
But you don't think you have a deep Southern accent, do you?
Yes.
You do?
I have that 7th Ward accent. Of course, you see,
Deep South.
it's not a deep South because I've been away and I went away to college, and so they sort of get it out of you. Sometimes I go into it though. I drag it out.
Especially when you're with your people, right?
No. Especially when I'm up north. I went away last year and I found myself dragging it out more. To let them know I was from the deep South. I'm fine.
You're kind of saying, I'm from the South and you don't like it too bad.
I think it's time we become proud of that. I was terribly embarrassed for years about being from the South, but, I think now.
And we have a very good culture and a very good way of life. And we should be proud of it.
The South has developed a whole bunch of things that the North has. Like, the South has developed music, most of the rock and roll. Like, it came from the blues and jazz, made up rock and roll. And the South made up a lot of the cuisine that made up like red beans and rice. That's a national favorite, you gotta admit. And the South.
And, we're very hospitable. We like to meet new people and accept us because we accept you.
He'd be about to be on TV, all right. New Orleans Jazz.
Yes, ma'am. Muffalata. Exactly. Muffalata, please.
Yeah, no, I know, but first I want to ask for it. When I get it, I'll ask you what it is.
Tell me what it is.
Okay. Can I have one of those?
A muffalata.
Yeah, muffalata. What is this?
Italian bread, provolone cheese, ham, salami, with an olive sauce on top. And it's warm.
Yeah, it is. Is this typical New Orleans?
Typical.
Really? It sounds Italian to me.
Typical Italian New Orleans.
Typical Central Grocery.
Central Grocery?
Yeah.
What's that?
In the French Quarter.
French Quarter.
French Quarter started these sandwiches a long time ago.
How long ago?
Long time ago.
Yeah.
About this long ago.
So are you Italian descent? Oh yes, I can tell. Is that a Borsalino?
Gazpacho.
We come over as often as we can.
Yeah. I just came from New York.
Oh, did you?
No, I had one, but not on that kind of bread.
It's a small bread. Yeah. Well, have fun.
Thank you.
You too, thanks.
Don't forget your
Other half.
Let me put that together.
Is the ham and Swiss
I can't
sandwich
make up my
good?
mind what I want to eat.
I believe we have a show person here.
We used to be on soaps.
Oh, really?
The Young and the Messless. Well, I want a ham and Swiss. Is that a pork one?
All the way.
Good? What's
Ask the
all
cow.
black?
Well, dressed with mayonnaise and tomatoes and lettuce.
I'll try that.
You want
That
one of
sounds
those?
good.
Ham and cheese all the way for the lovely soap lady. I mean, but she told me she was
I
on soap.
lied.
Is that what you did?
Get them to put y'all on the news.
Yeah.
I'll watch y'all next week.
Listen,
Talk to them, little girls. Talk to them.
What do y'all want to eat?
Get on the screen.
Nice to talk to you, Susan. Wait a minute. On there.
Help somebody? Nobody likes
Okay, when you get this.
That's what I
I'll
want.
muffalata.
Or whatever you say.
Hey, we can all money we gotta support. Everybody's supports black wine.
Okay, hold on.
Your nose is going to get burned.
It's already burned. It can't take anymore. That's why it's covered up.
You need a hat? No, I got
No,
that.
you better keep that. You might not.
Don't give me too much, though.
Oh, thanks. I don't.
Take care of the customer. They're always right. I'm going to get some ATP. It's delicious, by the way. I'm serious. On the other side. Everyone almost
Help you. Come and get your frog legs. Hey.
Frog legs.
Hey, one leg. All right. Hey. Boogie bar now. Hey, all right. Okay, 5 out of 5. We're even. Thank you. Hey, Mr. Banker. Okay, who needs what?
Well, I want to know. You're from West Virginia. Your wife's from New Orleans. Can the two of you understand each other?
Yeah, we met in England. We had interpreters there. It was okay. Yeah.
How does she talk different from you?
Well, listen, she's from Uptown. She grew up living near Tulane University, and she had she went, regular accent. When we went overseas, they couldn't believe she was from the South. But her grandmother was one of the last generations that spoke New Orleans French. That's a sort of not Cajun French, but we went back to Carcassonne, France, with the old lady. It's a walled city in south of France, and she spoke exactly the same accent that they had, which is like an 18th century Parisian French, which I guess. Oh well, I like her cousin, who's about 70 years old now. Pardon me, Evelyn, about 59. Says Kubiat when someone's a rascal or whatnot. Oh, he's a real Kubiat, and I'm not quite sure exactly what it means, and they aren't either. And they have a lot of the old nursery rhymes that we tried translating. They've gotten the words all garbled, but just in that city has almost, as you probably know, sort of almost a Brooklynese in some parts of the city. And other parts it has this uptown accent, which sounds like they're talking like gravel and had too much bourbon in them. But other than that, it's sort of a mid accent. Hey, listen, I'm making some money. I better sell some more. What y'all want now here? Who wants something and hasn't had it yet? You want a mushroom or you ordered? You ordered already? She's got it. Yes, ma'am. Hey, legs. Excuse me. Hey, legs. It's mayonnaise and not mayonnaise. Okay. Two back on the frog legs. Okay.
I just
real
got a
fine.
release signature from you, sir.
Hey, I'll release it all. James J. McLean.
Huh?
Hey, far out.
You're gonna be a star.
Far out. Oh boy, cowabunga. I can even come and work the telephones and be a bigger star on member night, right? Hey, what's your name? Laura Meyer. And you're really you're not from Nashville? Bye-bye. Can I help you?
Where's the church?
New Orleans,
What street are you?
on Robinson, 3rd and Robinson, 2nd True Love Baptist Church.
Yeah, we're doing the film. The way the film we're doing is about the way people talk in New Orleans, the way people talk in New Orleans.
Say, do I know how way they talk?
So that's what the movie we're doing. It's about.
Oh.
Do you ever notice that people in different neighborhoods talk different ways?
Sure.
How can you tell?
From the sound of their voices.
Like what neighborhoods might you be able to tell where someone's from?
Most like from Mississippi peoples. Way they talk. I can't tell no different than that. No, I cannot.
What about, did you ever go out of New Orleans?
Sure.
Spend time outside of New Orleans?
And California.
Did you ever notice that you might have used words they didn't know what the meaning was out there?
I really haven't paid no attention.
Did you ever use the word banking?
Huh?
You use the word banking?
No.
You know what a banking is, though?
No, what is it?
The sidewalk?
Oh.
You don't know that?
Yes, that's right. They do use sidewalk. They don't say bankers in California.
That's right, yeah.
They say sidewalk.
See, that's what the film was about.
Right. Oh, it is?
Yeah.
No, they don't use no banking out there. Sidewalk.
Yeah. So neutral ground, they don't use neutral ground?
No, they do not.
So we just found that sometimes you can tell what neighborhood someone's from. You can tell someone's from Uptown or from downtown.
Oh, yes?
Yeah, I think so.
No, not in the same town.
Yeah. Yeah. So what was your address again?
3409 Jim.
And your name?
My name is Lindsay B. Powell.
Okay, P-O-U-D-N-S?
P-O-W-E-L-L.
Oh, Powell.
Powell.
Okay.
All right.
All right, I'll write that down.
Do
Thank
so.
you. You take care. Good luck. So I don't know, what use the stuff will.
Come on, y'all. Calendar girls.
Calendar girls?
Yes. Social and Pleasure Club. Well, go ahead, We're a Social and Pleasure Club. We parade every year at the fairground.
What's that?
What?
What that is?
With the chase, just talking, taking pictures.
What's that for?
Well, it's educational TV. Yeah, we're just doing a little thing about New Orleans. Okay, a little program about New Orleans.
Wait, we can take it or not? What they doing now?
No,
We can take it or not. We waiting on you now.
Well, that's a child club.
Yeah, that's all.
Let us know.
Because we're supposed to not let nobody take the picture of the sound or nothing else.
No. We got
But let them really talk. Ain't saying nothing. All right now. Come on. What Tuesday? Tuesday, come on. Social and Pleasure Club, we have dances, raffles all year round, and on any year we have a ball, and we divide our money for Christmas holiday. We give to sickle cell and any organization that's, whatever need the money during the time they have a drive on. We donate to everything. We march, yeah.
Second line.
Really, we second line, like she said, not march. Second line. That's what we do. Second line is jazz. Second line, you do whatever you want to do to the jazz music.
It's a soul dance.
You ever find the people who are not from New Orleans, they don't know what second lining is?
No, they really don't.
They don't. But they pick up very fast.
No, they don't.
They try. They try.
It's all you have with you. It's like you have to be born with it.
Oh, that's right, true.
It comes from generation.
Shake of your own thing.
You got to know what to do when the drum do bump, you bump.
When the beat
Drum do you beat, you beat. You got to know what's going on to really do it. And we enjoy it very much. Really do. Yes, we are.
From the 6th ward.
From the 6th ward. It's down by the Municipal Auditorium by Armstrong Park.
Right in the area. In the area.
Why?
Let somebody go see me.
that?
Yeah. Did you have an accent?
No. I have down New Orleans.
What happened? Do we have an accent?
Oh, no.
I don't have to speak English. Yeah, New Orleans.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, different species.
What kind of speech?
Different language, really. Girl, go ahead, Linda. How you think it's different?
Yeah, you think like 6 months different?
Because everybody's accent is not the same.
It's everybody like the jazz music, you know, from 6 and 7. Really, we do.
For example, we were just talking to some people from the 70s. Around the circle, synchronized.
Yeah.
That's wrong in that area.
Yeah.
We all familiar with all that.
And they said, see, they went to different schools from people in Six Wars. They think that they talk a little different. You think some of
That's
them
not really. Not really.
'Cause we all mix
really.
together.
They
We
have
all
a
talk
lot
the
of
same.
Creoles in the 7 ward.
Yeah, that's what it is.
They do
A lot of Creole, a lot of Poisson Blanc.
They do,
They
yeah.
don't speak different.
Yeah, there's a lot of Creoles in them.
And then there are people uptown, there are white people uptown, and they're going to start sound different.
Not really once they get into the group, no. Yeah, white people right across the street from me speak the same as I do. Have the same fun, try to anyway, but they almost, yeah, they don't have the soul, but they try to do everything we do, you know, 'cause we have a nice time. Yeah, everybody's the same, really. Try to be anyway.
Thomas, you got your whistle?
Yeah.
Yeah, we been.
Yep, Super Sunday, yep. It's
It depends.
it's March the 20th.
March the 9th,
March the 20th.
March the 20th.
Yeah, well, that's all about Super Sunday.
You're gonna second line out the street.
Well,
we don't
at
know
Jazz
right now.
Fest.
But after that,
Well, we don't know right now.
Like
offhand.
maybe in September with the Tremé Sports.
Yeah, probably with the
September
Tremé
with the
smoke.
Tremé Sports.
Well, let's do. 12:15 Tremé. Yeah.
Second line, bring it on down.
Jazz band.
Tremé section. Tremé section. Six walls. Yeah.
Right out the Tremé.
Right.
so it's a social and pleasure club?
Yeah.
Tremé Social Pleasure
What
Club.
does that mean? What is a social and pleasure club?
Social and Pleasure Club, it consists of, you join up together and you have every member, you know, it's a saving club, like we want to give some out and then so and what. It's real nice though, real nice.
Just having fun, that's all.
Having fun.
That's all we be doing.
How often do you second line?
Every year, once a year.
Once a year. Then we come to the Jazz Fest.
Every year we's out here, every year, yeah.
And so you have a Super Sunday, or you have a day when you go out into the streets?
Yeah, we have every month. Like we come out in the last part of August. Then the next group might come out September, November. Every month there's got a group coming out. You know what I mean? That's the way it is. You know what I mean? And we
There's
just,
a lot of social and pleasure clubs.
oh yeah.
Right.
But we're number one though. We're number one. Tremé
Tremé
Sports,
is
we
number one.
Number
Right.
one. Yeah, we like it.
How old is it? Do you know how many years it's been?
Well, we've been organized 1969. 1969. And we hope to this go to 1999 if we still together.
Let me ask you, the show we're doing is about words and expressions, you know, the way people talk in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like if you were going to, on Mardi Gras Day, you talk about masking, right?
Yeah.
You go in with a mask, and if like you're in India, you say mask on the tablet or something. What do you guys say when you're going out? You say you're going to second line, or how do you do that?
Well, we just said we're going out, we're going to second line and give everybody show them what we could do. You know, and that's dancing, and we might have competition to the next group, which we don't worry about because we know we're still number one, you know what I mean? And so. So we just said we're going out there and do our thing.
Right.
So what's the connection with the calendar girls? Because they're different.
Well, we call them our sister partners.
club,
Sister
right.
partners.
Our
They just have a
sister
different
club.
name, but they right out of the same
Right.
six ward.
The Sister Club.
Sister club, yeah.
Whatever we do, they follow. They right in it.
They're always together.
Right,
Oh, yeah,
right.
We stick
That's
together.
one.
Yeah, we stick together. Tremé community, that's us. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Oh no.
Hey, little foiler, you know, like, hey,
What's
I can
happening,
talk New
man?
Orleans, yeah.
Hey, they're not in the band. We don't know them.
I tell you like this, you know.
Okay, but see,
Hi,
a
I'm
lot of
Roger.
people like
How are you?
came from Illinois, right?
Yeah,
You ever notice that when you come down here, people start to think they sound
Yeah, another
They
thing that I
always
noticed is that
ribbing me
once
about
you've
the
been
way I
down here
talk.
for a while, you begin to talk like you are from here. Because I go home and people say, hey, you've been in New Orleans too long.
I get
Right.
so mad the way
That
people
doesn't-
talk about the way I talk. You know?
He's country.
I'm from New Orleans.
He's
That's
country.
right.
He's not country.
He's
New
country.
Orleanian.
What do they say?
I don't know all
You
kinds
tell him he
of
talks
double
funny.
negative things. I ain't got none.
Double
you know?
positives too. They go, I'm from down
You
here,
know, like
yeah.
answering your own question. Yeah, we make grocery and everything.
We make groceries.
Yeah, we buy groceries. They make groceries.
We make all our groceries.
What did you think the first time you heard about making groceries? You know what they were saying?
I didn't. I swear I did not understand.
I took it in the
I did.
context. You know, I'm an English major. I didn't have any problem.
I did. Not
I
a lot
knew.
of problems.
I knew what
But
we
I
were
learned to
saying.
understand it.
What about neutral ground?
No,
I knew
didn't
what
understand
neutral ground
that.
was.
I
I
didn't
still-
understand that. I was wondering every
Everybody
time they
talk
said
about
neutral
neutral
ground,
I
I said,
always
where,
called
where,
it
where,
the
where?
median or something of that nature, you know, but I never knew.
Yeah, we call
it
them
was
mediums at
median.
home, but I knew what
Yeah.
neutral ground was. Where you from? You from Memphis? Congratulations.
Where y'all from?
I'm from Illinois. He's from Illinois. He's from Florida. She's from Louisiana. He's from New Orleans. This is Gandhi. See, he got his hair cut. He's bald now. This is Gandhi.
Go ahead,
You said it was
Okay,
hard,
have a
man.
good day, all right?
Broken French down
Yeah,
here?
it is because, like you say, to make groceries, faire la vaisselle in French, and it means to do, you know, or to make groceries. Or either the answer, they say, don't do me that. In the French, it's n'est pas on the end of it, so it's they answer themselves. But, you know, it's broken French, so, you know, I can understand why they do it, that's all. Yeah.
Okay.
Some. I've
I'm
had
so glad
some
she
French, that's about
understands
it.
us.
I had a scholarship to study in France last summer. I had fun.
Oh, I'm so glad someone understands us from New Orleans.
Like taking a foreign language, huh?
I swear.
Yeah. Oh,
You really think it is a foreign language? Does it really sound like that way to you sometimes?
it's just dialectical. That's all. I think it's jargon of a certain, you know, certain area. That's all.
Have you noticed that people in New Orleans talk differently in different parts of New Orleans?
Yeah. You know, just different jargon for different